Hear that.
All right, Troy's going first.
Yeah.
We didn't eat them. Me and Robert knew. We knew.
I didn't trust him.
Yeah, Peter was doing it last time, but there's all these people streaming. They should be keeping time, right?
He's telling that we should.
And I'm not doing it.
That's not with Becky, of course.
The only tamale thing I will have to say is that I recently tried tamales from some place that we normally get Mexican food from here in New Jersey, and everything they do is excellent. I was really looking forward to it. It just didn't seem right, and it's like the second bite, it's kind of like, oh, I ended up with dessert tamales instead of like chicken that I thought were just
Okay.
tasting weird. It's like that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd rather get something that's good and not what I ordered than something that's bad and matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the first year I went to Thanksgiving with my now wife. At the time, we were just dating, and we're at her family's house for Thanksgiving. And I have to leave at this point. It's one of those. Okay, there's 30 of these people in one room. I'm a little overwhelmed. I'm going to step outside. As I walk outside, neighbor across the street, standing out on his front porch, waves me over. And I get, walk over there, and he's out there, just big old batch of tamales, just cooking them. And we chat for a little bit, and he's like, hey, you want to take some of these tamales back? And I was like, sure. Now I'm a Yankee. I, never had tamales for Thanksgiving. I did not know that this was
That's
like
a
a
normal
Southern
thing.
tradition.
Mm-hmm.
And so he
Christmas.
hands me this plate of, probably about 24 tamales to take back. I'm like, oh, gee, cool. I walk back through the door.
No, we just both.
I don't get a second step in the door before I am hoarded on by everyone over there that they've seen that I have tamales. I did not actually get to eat a single one of those tamales.
Oh no!
Oh, that's price of popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every year I walk in, it's been, over a decade, and they're like, so you gonna go get us some tamales? I'm like, the guy moved, he's your neighbor. Why are you asking me?
It should be less than.
Go track him down.
So what are we expecting here as far as Ben's purchase order? See that he's got an Atlantis in the mix. Are you expecting Drax next?
In the semifinals, he went. I think he went
Astrid,
Atlantis.
maybe.
Atlantis.
Double
I'm
win.
thinking he's going to go Instru to try to keep the global lockdown. Well, he
Yeah.
he spins.
And to try and
into
stop the
getting
clay face during his
thing.
turn.
Yeah.
We having a difficulty here?
I think Ben's deciding what he wants to do.
Oh, okay. I didn't see a hand on the
Yeah,
cam anymore.
it's one of those. Did it freeze, or is he just thinking?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think this is one of those really skill testing moments, right? Because Ben needs to properly identify what will be most useful soonest, and it could be any number of things, right? It could be the Danny Moonstar. It's almost certainly not the Gazer. Whatever he goes for, he needs to be able to do something productive with his remaining energy. It's a tough problem.
The other thing is he knows Troy back and forth because they played each other a lot.
Yeah. So he Becky'd Danny and went in for an attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was surprised that Ben would attack the psychic. I think Ben wants the game to last longer than Troy does, right? I think this is the same dynamic as last game, that Troy wants things to go quickly for him to get the
Get that early win.
cheap buys to get the advantage, but Ben's got the bigger suite of control pieces. I think Troy has a lot more flexibility than most of the teams in the event, that he's able to kind of get those Danny Moonstar pings in early, kind of build to a crescendo, but his crescendo doesn't have to be for 20 damage.
Right.
But at the same time, if things go slowly, he could always just be a huge Black Widow 20 damage push out of one turn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Troy had the lowest average purchase cost out of any team.
Yeah, that's
event,
if you had
so-
one mathematical way to address what someone's whether they wanted to go a slow or a long game, like he wants or sorry, slower quick game. He is the guy in the event who wants the quick game. I bet there's a lot of opponents today who didn't address that reality quickly enough to position their purchases correctly. Especially if Troy was going first against them, the fact that he's got Drax as that solid low-cost control piece alongside all of the other quick antics.
And TJ, I'm sure, yes.
Well, it's not a game without it.
Yeah.
So I can take my chances.
So Troy's still trying to figure out who he wants to name with the Drax.
Because you don't have anything else.
Kind of a tough situation because it's Becky or Istrid, or I'm sorry, Becky or Danny on.
So he goes with Danny.
Pass right to you.
I think that's a better choice because it's more low to the ground and
So it's great.
I think he knows his answer to take care of Becky. So he's gonna keep Ben on the Becky so he can deal with it faster versus make it a mirror match of Danny versus Danny.
But I mean, Ben has brought a lot of threats to the table. I'm sure
Right.
that's part of his plan for dealing with Drax, is to go around instead of to go through. The other thing is, Gazer is kind of strangely situated, right? That it's such a low purchase cost item, but you probably don't want to grab it until later.
Yeah, it's not an early purchase, it's more of a mid-game purchase.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at kind of the generation one of low purchase cost competitive Dice Masters dice, that was not the case, right? You were grabbing the Guy Gardner, the Miri, the Zarina, the
Constantine
Hellblazer as
Hellblazer,
fast as you
yeah.
could. And
Yeah,
this is a
first
different
turn
story.
purchase.
Right.
Yeah.
So what has Ben doing here?
praying.
I think you'll find most of the cards on Ben's team are pretty good.
Yeah, most of the cards on everyone's team today were pretty good.
Talking with his kids.
Whatever he needs given the situation that he's up against.
Hmm?
Yes. What he would love to do is get Becky out and then force one of my guys to block and then double her over crushing damage and deal 15 damage. But I'm going to try to keep him from doing that. Okay, that goes away.
Troy's giving his own commentary.
4 seconds.
Yeah, so can the audience hear Troy, or can only we hear Troy?
Is tr-
We can only hear Troy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Troy gave a really succinct rundown that basically Ben's team is going to want to hit maybe twice. Once with Becky to deal crippling damage, and then once with Becky, second time with Becky to win. But the Ben running Danny Moonstar and some other, small options means that the crippling damage from Becky makes all of those other things into game-ending threats. It converts their opportunity.
Hold, he says.
Okay, and I've been informed that the audience can hear a little bit, so I turned him up a little bit more, but it will be the
Okay.
generating voice.
Yeah, and I mean, for context's sake, right? Like, one of Troy's kids is probably like right there with him right now, watching
Yeah.
this happen.
For sure.
So,
Most likely.
as we mentioned in the last match, not the first match, we had Troy on with us. He is kind of the king of the multitasker. There's been numerous times where he's had his kids in his lap with him while playing Dice Master.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
that's actually just one of the endearing things about Dice Masters, right? Is that it is family friendly. Like it's not like anyone puts their life on hold to go travel the world and play Dice Masters, right? It's something that you do on the side, and I think that's the fact that it's so chill so competitive is a great testament to the kinds of people that we have playing the game.
It might go to show that he should have brought his kids to World and had them climbing all over him last year, and he might have been World.
Yeah, I mean, no, but when you think about how kids climb on parents, sometimes I see them and I'm like, how are you not like so jacked? like, like even just the tension of not tipping over, like.
No. Okay. Your turn.
Roy's just developing his board a little bit.
So Troy did not end on the best note that turn, right? Like he theoretically would want to have some energy in the reserve to try and use Atlantis Global or something like that to position himself better. But we've kind of seen from previous games that if you have a solid turn with Drax, you can do some good stuff. So since Troy hadn't picked Becky, he picked Danny Moonstar instead, and took advantage and went for the Becky purchase. So now Troy is gonna have to pivot a little bit or get in some quick damage here to make the most of his previous decisions.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the dice purchase to really push through anything else right now. Just what's on board and
Yeah,
make
and like Ben
synced
is going to roll Becky next turn, and even if it gets hit with a static field, he's probably going to have the energy left over to purchase an Istrid Horn or to ramp toward that.
And that's the snowball effect.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Troy's at 20 life or 19. I think he just knocked his life counter down to 19.
I think he's at 19. I think Ben swung. Did he?
I think that is correct,
last
but I
game?
would feel better if someone verified such a thing.
Yeah. Well, because Ben has them both at 20.
I think Ben is correct.
Yeah.
I'll
wait for he finishes his turn.
Jordo.
Yeah,
no.
let him finish his action.
The global escalation list is official for the Dice Masters.
Real fast, Troy, are you at 20 life or 19?
Oh, sorry. 19. Yeah, because he attacked with psychic.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is at
I
19.
knew I
Okay,
wasn't
thank
crazy.
you.
So Drax must attack. Otherwise, there's a 50-50 chance.
So yeah.
Next turn anyway. And you have all of your dice in your bag.
Yeah, the global escalation is not affected by this tournament right now because it's not official.
Attack.
Points don't matter.
Down to a question.
That would be funny, and then everyone have to change all of their teams.
That would be the worst.
Like, oh man.
See, Troy making that choice to make the most of Drax there is nice because it's showing two things. One, he's trying to not get clobbered with the overcrush damage, even though Drax has like a reasonable defense.
Everything about Becky is good.
But he's also trying to make sure he gets that chip damage in so he can actually beat Ben before Ben gets all the stuff going at full speed.
As he should be.
Yeah.
I am my team.
Not with you.
Becky is my team as well.
Not with you specifically.
I'll throw Becky and re-roll you. Danny, I guess.
Yep, that's the one.
Probably time for Troy to take damage.
That's one damage, right?
I will declinch a Drax.
Yeah, one damage each one that doesn't roll.
Okay.
Mhm.
Can't do anything with that, right? So...
The Danny goes to
So Troy takes a damage.
Oh, right, yes. And I took a damage, right?
You just took 1 damage.
Forced him to attack, so... Alright. 2...
And so it begins.
I see
Shake,
the
shake,
five
shake.
Take them dice bags.
Oh, all the sidekicks. Yeah.
Oh, oops, all sidekicks.
Well, that's not great.
And Ben is just looking for a big hit, and I don't think you want to give him what he wants.
Well, no, I mean, so Troy
could
actually
spin
still
it
had a
now.
mask in reserve, so even if he attacked with Becky, he would have just static field her back.
Oh.
Failed that.
This is a really good Spider-Man here.
Nothing. We'll attack with Spider-Man. Spin Becky down.
Yeah, so Troy had to have a lot of foresight to put himself in the position that he's in right now. This is not somewhere you get to on accident.
Danny coming.
This is very true.
So if You're not.
16.
16. Okay, I was at 6.
Drax
Huh?
is
I
level
think.
3.
Yeah. Okay. So that would get you down to 12. But then I would lose my Spider-Man, and he probably wouldn't come back because he'd be Draxed.
Using that Spider-Man for a little bit of a mini board clear on very targeted characters is something to be said. Just keep it in the field.
Yeah.
All right, I'll keep him out there. Your turn.
So yeah, spends the question mark as a mask to static field back the Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think he paid and then started thinking about it.
Yeah, he moved the energy to do it and then started second guessing himself. So
Dice do you have everywhere? Like, what's in your...
I have 6 dice in my deck. All that.
So I think he has a Drax in his bag.
Overcrushers. I don't have any.
Yeah. Wait, does he? Does he even have Drax on his team? Oh yeah, Troy does. Okay.
It was Drax was in his prep, I thought, and
yeah, it's nothing
Yeah.
but sidekicks in his bag.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's nice.
So this is going to be the only time Danny Moonstar can field, because I believe he's going to go about the same thing of just fielding Drax and naming Danny, or would you just name Becky?
uh,
Still deciding to reroll or not?
I think Ben's gotta do a reroll here.
They're streaming it. This is the final match. They're streaming it.
Yeah, I think it honestly it'll go away.
No, they're just,
Yeah.
These are just people streaming it and commentating on it. You could probably go downstairs and watch it on the big screen if you wanted.
Troy's giving us live shout outs to his kids and family.
Please do.
Yeah. So Drax is named Danny Moonstar for the one that just got filled, right?
Spider-Man block prosperity.
Don't
force
know.
Your Drax to attack.
Drax is going away.
I'll block Drax. What's Drax got for his attack? and
Danny
stuff?
Moonstar went through for 2,
So actually doesn't matter.
or was that 1?
Back. Doesn't matter. He stays either way. So you hit me for 1?
1.
Yep.
So Yort's down to 17.
1, 2, 3. Oh, everything's coming out. 4.
This is a great roll for Troy with only 4 dice. He's going to get 2 characters.
Oops.
Oh.
Let's see. We'll keep that. Keep that and that. She could be free.
Yeah, if I was Troy, I'd be re-rolling that Danny. Just go for the damage. Go for the win.
Maybe I just keep that.
And he has about, we don't know exactly, the 36 minutes is the unofficial time. Ben has the official time set already. We started a little bit late, but yeah, you need to get as much damage in as you can. I think you're right about that, Jim.
Field sidekick.
So he names Becky with the Drax.
Pass priority, you got nothing. I'll attack with Spider-Man. Spin that down to a shield.
Ben is officially getting ready for his next turn.
Did something pull back the Spider-Man from attacking?
Yep.
Yep.
What are you gonna do? You can make me block. Yeah, alright. Your turn.
Yeah, Troy pulled him back. He used it as
Oh, there's a
targeted removal.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
The legitimate strategy.
So yeah, Becky
This
is
is
blanked
this
right
is
now.
not a great board position for Ben.
Not at all.
He's gonna re-roll and hope for the best, but
Yeah, well, they're just to make things bounce around.
So uses the Becky Lynch Global and buys a Danny Moonstar.
Becky Lansford. Danny.
Okay.
Becky.
Pardon me. All right, so got 2 in the bag.
Wow.
1, 2.
No, Becky a Gazer. Sorry.
Okay.
Putting in a Gazer instead.
All right, 2 there.
He's probably got a Becky coming out.
Because you potentially have your Becky coming, right?
Percentages are on his side for Becky to come out, and if he can get Gazer and Becky out at the same turn, he can do some things.
Okay, there's no sidekick.
What does Troy need to do here? Just get some more punchy boys?
I think so, yeah.
I think he needs to start pivoting to getting the Black Widows or the more Dannies.
Huh. There's no fists in that pile there.
It's gonna be 4.
Troy still hasn't purchased a Black Widow this game, right? So he's probably planning that the game goes at least another 4 turns if he's not
Right.
making that choice.
Drax.
Hasn't even purchased Danny. But I don't think Danny's the winning combo piece for him.
Alright, we'll reroll these.
It's fair as far as
Oh,
Danny not being the
jeez.
winning piece.
Okay, I guess we're fielding sidekicks.
That's not bad, I
Does narrow
guess.
down my options, yes.
Atlantis might be a good purchase for him.
Get in Becky and roll out all my things.
Can't do it anymore, but
I will keep.
Well, he could intellect
I can-
devour to bring back one of the sidekicks.
Yeah.
Alright, pass priority and turn. Or pass priority, I guess.
Drax to attack.
You're gonna force Drax to attack. Of course you are.
Of course you are.
Axe attacks.
It's down to bold or question mark, and then we'll bring him back.
Bringing him back. Force him to thin that field a little bit.
Drax, yes, Becky is
Yeah,
Drax.
Drax.
That's why he bought his Gazer, because he's hoping to. Yep.
Gazer
It was
comes
a
out to
useless
play.
Becky.
Yeah,
Gazer-
so
Oh, not useless.
is this Gazer gonna seal the deal in favor of Ben?
I think so.
What's Troy at right now?
Troy is
Troy's a-
currently at 17.
Yeah.
Oh.
Becky's gonna stay in the field though until he can have lethal.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, I don't know how long it'll stay because next turn Spider-Man can just get rid of her.
Oh. Yeah.
So that does nothing.
But if
You gotta
Spider-Man
get
gets
a-
rid of her and Ben has kept fists, that means that Ben will be able to double Atlantis Global or something silly.
Ben just
he-
put her back on the thing. Oh, he's waiting
Yeah,
for.
he did Atlantis. He used the
Atlantis,
actual Atlantis
that way he
action.
can have a big turn.
Yeah.
He's basically just confident that Troy is not going to be able to win the game this turn or not be able to further bolster his board position.
He's gonna force that Drax to attack.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well reroll this one.
Did he have enough energy to field both the Gazer and the Becky, or
Oh yeah. He just
did?
He
he's trying to do something to force.
Priority.
Yeah, it still isn't gonna work.
Force Drax to attack. Spin down. Bring Drax back.
I mean, it's noteworthy here that Troy has had a really tight purchasing pattern this game. Right? He's not trying to overextend. Once he decides to go for something a little bit more ambitious, it's gonna show up in his rolls.
Yeah.
Delayed Becky till this next turn because he was hoping that he could actually fire
I like Troy's commentary.
Yeah, so Troy's doing some insightful commentary for his kids, and we're totally gonna steal from it. But Ben last turn used the Atlantis action die in order to delay a bunch of his dice. That way, when he had a big turn, it would be a very big turn, and not just that it would be hoping to get lucky or something.
Right.
So force the Spider-Man and the Danny to re-roll. Spider-Man stays, Danny's removed.
so that's a damage.
Come on. And it comes back to the same Spider-Man level too. So
Convenient.
Pass back. Oh, yep. And it goes to used and one. Yep.
so many effects right now that just return your energy to your reserve pool that it's confusing that Becky doesn't sometimes.
I will put
Yeah.
Becky back, and I will take one from Keezer.
So Troy's down to 15 with Ben at 16.
Something could be said to just
All of this goes in the bag.
keep blocking the gazer, right? Or is that not a good move? I don't know. You want to have it go back through the bag, and Ben's bag is not looking good right now.
Yep.
Oh, stays in the bag.
Oops, all sidekicks.
Oh,
So despite Troy's tight purchase patterns, he was not actually able to just get the dice he wanted this turn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy a Black Widow.
Oh, there she is.
Goes for the Black Widow purchase now.
Pass priority.
So again, Ben's been running a really, really thin field.
Mhm.
You know, he's hoping to get that Black Widow in with all those sidekicks.
Drax should be in the field.
Yeah, he came back.
All right.
He was there the whole time. He just couldn't see him because he was standing still.
how do they see me?
Oh, that is a.
So Ben's about to Atlantis Global here.
Mm-hmm.
You've got four sidekicks in the Danny. Okay. Bring it back.
Having the blocker is bad for Ben, but I do think it's perhaps even more pronounced that he doesn't have the chance to roll those two sidekicks out of his bag.
All right. And Troy, of course, pulls back the Spider-Man, keeping it in the field.
Yeah.
Super expensive. Off of that. Spin that down.
So Becky,
What do you think Ben's going to go for here?
I'm gonna say.
I don't know.
Sorry, language.
Pass it back, I guess.
I think he's going to continue to thin his bag.
Mm.
Make all my things block. Which things? Sidekicks, all of them?
All of them. No.
You had 6?
Yeah.
You had 6 things. All right, I will force your
I had
sidekicks.
5. I had 5. All right, I actually had 5.
Oh,
Okay, so Ben is doing a wild play here, which is he's forcing 5 of Troy's characters to block a single Danny Moonstar, and they're all going to get re-rolled. So Ben's potentially dealing.
No, it wasn't. That's the one in the field. I rolled that.
10 damage.
Ben's doing up to 10 damage here.
Force. Everything
That's-
apart.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Okay. So you're forcing all of those guys to block so that you can reroll them with Danny.
This is the first time we've seen this today, and so
Yeah.
it's cool that it got to be in the finals when it's so silly.
Spider-Man comes back.
Whoa!
That's
That's 8 damage.
Troy takes 8, so that's
brutal.
That
This
is-
was the one I heard. That's the one I already had. Yeah.
that is half of Troy's life total.
One of them came
Is chunked him.
so down to
Uh,
7. And nope, she's still there. I'm gonna send her.
So Roy's kind of in a bad spot.
Troy is quite suddenly in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Bag is a mess.
Oh, sorry. That's
That
His
Danny Moonstar
field-
pivot. Wow.
It's a mess.
he did a thing.
That's a nuts one.
And as Troy said to his son, he did a thing.
Very good thing.
I mean, Ben doesn't have a huge board position. Ben has no energy in his reserve pool, right? Like, this is dramatic, right? It could definitely swing either way because Ben is at how much?
16.
Ben is currently at 16 life to Troy's 7, and
Oh.
we've got about 26 minutes remaining.
Oof, man, I'm starting to feel like if Troy doesn't put a major dent in Ben's life total this turn, he might just need to concede. But it might not take that long if Ben gets a good roll next turn.
That's a good
It might be
question.
worth playing through.
I was thinking I was getting a Black Widow this turn.
No, this is the best of 3, TJ. So this is just game 1 of best of 3.
Okay. Feel that.
Yep, it's a Chris giving miracle.
Thanksgiving.
Canadian Chris giving miracle.
Merry Canadian Christmas Kwanzaa.
It's a Canadian Chris Gaines Day? What?
Whoa.
It's a all-purpose Canadian holiday this weekend for Americans who don't totally pay attention. Note that I say it's for the Americans and it is not actually for the Canadians.
They just kind of ignore it.
Do you have anything
Enjoy your candied moose.
Candied moose
Candied
for
moose.
everyone.
So you're the one that bought the CD, Jordo?
I don't even know who that is.
So Troy is
Chris
feeling
Gaines
the
is,
stuckness right now.
Yeah.
Garth Brooks.
too loud?
Is rock face Garth Brooks?
He doesn't have anything good to Clayface for. He definitely doesn't want to purchase stuff, but like he could kind of attack people. He could attack for some chip damage and then Atlantis Global, but like that doesn't feel great either.
Bought a Danny.
Last priority.
He bought a Danny.
So he's going to Becky Lynch purchase a Danny Moonstar.
Danny, and then I will bring him back.
So attacks with the Spider-Man to remove the Danny, and Elective Hours the sidekick back, and uses that energy to bring back his.
Depending
Spider-Man.
on what he pulls here, Ben could have a good turn or... Oh, that's a Becky. He did not roll the Becky, though.
If he gets a decent Becky,
What you got this time? I think he's got like one.
reroll Spider-Man in the sidekick, please.
Oh my gosh.
But he can't. Oh, Drax is out of the field. Never mind.
Yep.
He
I
had
didn't
the
enforce the
marker
sidekick,
still on
too.
Becky, so I was.
Ooh, there's one. Oh, because he wants the overcrush damage.
Yes, he did. Yes, he does.
So that's that game in favor of Ben.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you got
Setting for
left on
game
the clock?
two.
Like 23 minutes?
Yeah,
23 minutes and
Yep.
30 seconds, roughly.
Yeah, I feel good. That was a guess.
I will go first again.
So Troy choosing to go first.
I think the clock is just not working in Troy's favor here.
All right, I'll bet you Danny.
He's got to go fast and go underneath what Ben's trying to do, but Ben's...
Yeah. So
You
he's,
can
he's
already
gonna-
tell his pace is quickened.
yeah, but I mean, it helps that the early game is that much easier, right? Like
Yeah.
Becky and Danny turn one just kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and then Ben Becky's a
Ben
Drax.
Becky to Drax.
Come on, y'all. I can't move my finger this fast. This is crazy.
Okay, so now it'll be interesting to see if Troy is reluctant to play the sidekick dice into the field zone this game because of that big Danny play that Ben was able to make.
All right, field that. Probably.
Think
gonna have
Troy's just going to wait in Atlantis Global instead of trying to make another purchase this turn, but
Atlantis doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, all Atlantis.
Here you go, doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
a little surprised he didn't. Oh, he Elective Hour to get the sidekick. I thought he was going to go the other direction.
Ugh. Didn't get the
Drax did not want to show. He enjoyed being invisible in the corner.
That could be a Becky though.
Visible Drax.
But it would actually be
That is
helpful
definitely a
if
possible
he
Becky.
has many questions, just because every time you ask a question,
It's a Becky'd Becky if he wants it to be.
I think it's worth noting that throughout this event, one of the things newer players can sort of pick up on is that the experienced players are not buying a second copy of those control dice. They are diversifying, and they're planning on re-rolling and not having their bag clogged up with stuff. You know, that second Drax might be really good for the sake of getting Drax, but it's not good for getting the Becky that's going to win you the
bag
game.
up and make
Right.
it harder for to get your stuff in the mid to late game.
Precisely. Like these players they deeply understand the trade-off. I think, if you kind of look at the Corvus Glaive team, it didn't have to play along that same axis, right? Because you could afford to maybe over purchase stuff and then send it back to the card later if you wanted. But I don't think that the team was engineered to make those purchases and trade backs.
I mean, that was the hardest lesson I had to learn when I started learning how to play was just because I have the energy to purchase something does not mean I should purchase something.
Yeah, and the same thing goes for global abilities. And I think if you're kind of getting started, it's not out of the question to play a team that it's hard for you to make an over purchasing mistake with.
Jordo has a very, very excited question to ask you. You don't buy everything?
No, Jordo.
No, well,
yes,
I mean, maybe I do, but I know that I shouldn't.
You, Jordo,
right?
buy everything. That's a special rule in the rule book just for you.
Other games, she was very helpful in getting rid of god catchers.
Jordo says, "Why bring them if you're not going to buy them?"
That's a definitely fair counterpoint.
I did not think of that.
You know what? That's a good point.
Ben's sitting on 5 energy right now, and I don't know if he used Intellect Devour Global yet.
No, he has not.
So he could be sitting on 6 energy. So he could be ready to purchase the Becky and use the Becky Global to just get it for next turn.
And that
I
looks
think
like
that's
what
what's
he's
about to
gonna be
happen.
doing.
Okay, one of those goes in the bag. Ties and kicks.
No, he
No,
got his
he's
field,
holding.
But
What?
He holds it.
I think
He holds
he's
it.
playing-
That's a
So
lot.
what do
gonna
we think
be
Ben's up to here? Just
Atlantis-ing-
mega Atlantis plays?
I think
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Some shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, he's got three fists, 3 shields. It makes sense. He's
Yeah,
got he's effectively got 3 blockers in his pocket.
And he's got 3 triggers for it, so yeah.
The one hand in his pocket and another one shooting a peace sign.
All right, Atlantis.
No, you're not.
It's Thanksgiving weekend. You got oh my god, Canadian Thanksgiving weekend. You got to shout out to some Canadians, okay?
All right.
Dave Goulier. I mean, come on.
He dated her.
So
Yep.
with all this holiday talk, it sounds like someone just set off fireworks near me.
Oh,
Let's
like
just hope
it.
they were fireworks. Let's just
Yeah.
leave it at that. You know, unfortunately, I live fairly close to a gun range, so there's some nights where I'm not sure. You know,
It is Texas.
yeah.
And then well, so pass it to you, I guess.
Atlantis. Twice.
I'll pull her back.
So
Yeah,
much.
even only a double instead of a triple Atlantis from Ben is pretty effective here. It puts 4 sidekicks out of rolling them when he doesn't want to.
Yep. Is that a Drax? It looks like a Drax.
By golly,
Yep.
I think it's a Drax. Look
Yeah.
what you're
he
specialized.
moved. We can see him.
I'll roll it. Okay, that's ultra not useful. So reroll. Drax would have been very useful last turn, not this turn.
Yeah, so Ben's a little bit late on his Drax roll, as evidenced by the fact he cared enough to Becky Global it early on.
Wow, look at that.
Ben still hasn't purchased an Atlantis this game. I think that could be problematic for him eventually, just given the way his team has had to play this matchup.
I'm not going to guarantee anything. Careful, bud. Could
Is Ben gonna purchase a Danny this turn and then do Atlantis plays during Troy's next turn?
I don't think that's a bad choice.
Like I could see him go, but like when you look at kind of how he's spreading out those energy, that doesn't seem like what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it would set up a turn where he could have, depending on what Troy does on his turn, have a really aggressive, big turn like he had last time.
Becky Lynch a Typhoid Mary?
Oh,
that's what he does.
Ooh, I certainly different. Yeah,
Down. Fast priority.
Didn't you have 3 sidekicks?
No,
Yeah.
I had 2.
You had 2 and then you rolled one. You said, oh, you re-rolled it. That's right. Okay. That
I
was before
rerolled
that.
it, yeah.
there's some confusion about whether or not Ben had 3 sidekicks in like Devoured already or not,
And
and
then I'm gonna,
it seems that he hasn't.
Yeah, no, he started his turn with only 2. So
I'm gonna Atlantis.
I'll attack with a sidekick.
Ben is attacking with his 1 sidekick.
Oh, wow.
do I want- Yeah, I'll block with a sidekick.
They both ran.
Yeah, both players ramping here is not the biggest surprise.
Something else goes in here.
Ben kind of doesn't want to get hit with that Danny Moonstar play like he hit Troy with in the previous game.
Quite
Troy has hit a Black Widow here. This roll becomes crazy high variance because if he just hit the nuts, we could be seeing game 3. Right? It's not likely. But Ben would only be able to push back 2 of the sidekicks. Theoretically, the Black Widow would make all of them two attack attackers.
Mm-hmm.
Louis Vuitton. Huh? All right.
What?
This chick
That what
said-
to me?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that was video.
All
The
right.
chick says it has arrived, and she was showing her Louis Vuitton bag. I was like, oh, watching the video. Sorry,
Oh.
I had a notification, so I looked at it. Then I got distracted by the other crap.
So
What's up, Joe?
Becky Lynch over a Spider-Man for Troy here.
Oh.
Okay. Danny's attacking. So you're not gonna have anything.
Does he just save for Atlantis?
So I'll bring one of those down.
Well, he's attacked with Danny.
And I'll save Danny. Your turn.
Everyone act natural. Uh-oh.
By the way, after we're done with the tournament, we're gonna be raiding DM Armada. He's gonna do some openings.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Nice.
So this marks the first time I've watched a tournament game where someone plays a Typhoid Mary, and it's kind of exciting.
Oh.
There's a chill in the air.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
to return to the olden times. So yeah, so Drax has picked Spider-Man, I think we heard, and then Typhoid Mary has picked Danny Moonstar. You know,
no.
basically half of what Troy has bothered with this game is not functional.
That's brutal when you put it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
It kind of is.
Yeah.
I mean, Troy has. I don't think Troy has purchased a Drax this game, has he?
Seriously.
Mm-mm.
No, he hasn't purchased
Yeah,
a Drax
so
yet. So
he-
Black
he
Widow's
is-
the only thing that he's purchased that he's able to continue to field.
So Troy is on the back foot here. Ben has a significant advantage. Ben is likely, I think, to hit Becky next turn. Yeah, Ben is very likely to be hitting Becky this coming turn.
That was the one in my bag.
Yeah, and we're down to around 12 minutes.
Yes.
Time is not on Troy's side.
I don't.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Troy's got to develop too much stuff on the.
Shake.
This is Hail Mary time.
So Spider-Man is Drax, right? And
Yep. And
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so
Spider-Man is
so
so
Drax.
Troy really he just wants to hit like a Black Widow and an overwhelming number of sidekicks. But even if he did that, it's not enough for lethal at this point, and I don't know where his game plan goes from there.
Yep. And even as blockers, the Danny's not effective against Becky because you want a blocker for Becky. Hamburgers.
All right, so the Black Widow comes up on a 0-2-1.
Black Widow buffs everything.
I'm not sure I know what face Ben's Typhoid Mary is on, but she might not be able to defend against those 2 attack sidekicks at this point.
It's a 2-4-6, I believe, with the burst on it. So
Oh, okay.
Sidekicks are 2-1s.
Hmm.
Danny is right now.
Yeah, but Troy doesn't have the energy for like Drax Global if he wanted to try and push the damage further to get a KO on a blocker or something.
yeah, so the Typhoid Mary is level 3, 2-4-5.
Down. I'm going to Becky a Drax.
I mean, the other thing is Ben has a Danny ready to go as well. So if he's able to just have the Danny swing in with some forced blockers, he could get some significant chip damage onto Troy.
I guess I'll force your. Yeah.
Forcing.
I'll force your Danny to attack.
Forcing Danny. And he has to decide if he wants to pull it back or save that mask to pull something back when Ben attacks.
I'll save her.
Oof. It's a bold move, Cotton.
Let's go ahead and pull it back.
2 seconds in my bag, 2 in there, and then 2 more back in the bag.
That's not a Danny.
What do we
Did
have, guys?
he
Like
buy
6
a
minutes to
Danny?
go?
Yes, 8 minutes.
Minutes.
Yeah, so Ben is getting dangerously close to his Becky, and his Becky turn is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's it, Danny.
There's Danny. So you can have
There's
a
Danny.
good Danny turn.
He's kind of staged for an Atlantis Global, right?
I mean, yeah, the second game is kind of a slog, but Ben changes the way he plays up from game to game, so that's the thing.
Hmm.
He doesn't give someone the same look. Oh, come on,
That's not what
Drax.
you want with Drax.
Drax might appear this game.
He's too cool for this party. He's not showing up.
He didn't get it.
Man.
Mm.
Do we think that's game
I think
for Troy here? Do we think Ben just runs him over next turn?
It's
I don't
possible. I mean, it's
Yeah,
possible,
Becky in
but
the bag?
I think it's the probable outcome at this point. You know,
I mean, Troy's going to be able to push some people back with static field or something, right? There's no way Ben
Right.
can stop that, but
it's just a snowball effect. And
yeah. So Ben's going to be able to make a significant, meaningful push, followed by like an Istrid Horn buy or something.
once
Can you
that
prep a
happens-
gazer for next turn? And he might pull Spider-Man out the bag.
Or Becky, another Drax. Spin that down.
All right.
Pass priority.
there it is.
Atlantis. And
Yeah, he's expecting static field to save him, and he's going to develop his field right here in such a way that he's going to just try to get Becky,
force your Danny.
try to get the Istrid Horn out in the same.
Hmm. Oh, has Ben not purchased a Becky this game?
not yet. No.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't realize that. So I'm overshooting the mark by a bit here to think that Ben's going to be doing something crazy this turn.
Yeah, no. Ben is putting in the hard control on it.
Hmm.
Oh no, he lost a die. The die went
Danny's-
rogue.
Danny's blanked on the opposing side.
Bag, put one on the floor right now.
The Typhoid Mary is on the Danny, and the Drax is on the Spider-Man, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
I don't think Ben has anything that is blanked on his side though, right?
No,
No.
everything's live on Ben's side.
Annoyingly,
Troy
it's
has no field position right now.
yeah. Ben has the higher ground.
He certainly does here, especially after winning game 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
So Troy played it actually smart that last round in getting rid of all of his characters in the field, knowing that Danny was coming in.
Do you think Ben's going to inflict devour away his sidekick to get more energy?
Hmm.
What the world is going on back there?
My chair went out for me.
It buckled under the
I don't
pressure.
think he needs to.
Yeah. His board presence is more important because he could have just a lethal pull.
Fair.
Yeah, what energy have you?
I mean, this is Ben we're talking about. He sees the lines that none of us really, see that, so
Yeah.
anything is, fair game, but me looking at it, I see no benefit to him doing that.
Hmm.
I'll force Drax to attack. Or I'm sorry, yeah, Drax. Yeah.
I see a couple Atlas Globals in Ben's future.
Yeah,
The
you
match
can
timer
save it and
is somewhat
spin everything
correct.
Which means how much time?
3 minutes and
4
30.
minutes.
Yeah.
And they're both at 20?
No, actually, currently Ben is at 16.
Okay.
So Troy forcing Ben to attack with the Drax. So now he's going to bring it back so that he has the energy. He doesn't lose his energy after he uses the static field to bring it back.
Hopefully lower the temperature in their room. So yeah. Ooh. Istrid Horn? Yep.
Illegal
It-
use of character that's not on your team.
Yort just Troy just asked, do you make use of anything on your do you not make any use of anything on your team?
Guy Claw is not going to see the table this game. I'm going to bet that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Troy being locked out of Drax is going to be a big problem here.
Okay, well, it was a good run.
He's got that Grell, but that doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
think
unfortunately,
that-
he doesn't have anything to back up.
That
I think that Troy might not have been favored to win this game, but it's still a shame to see game 2 of the finals go down like this.
Right.
Like definitely would have preferred to see it be a more nail biter.
As much as we dislike it going to turns from a organizer point of view,
Yes.
because it draws things out. From a entertainment point of view, it is so much better to have that nail biter where it goes to the turns and it's like, okay, let's see this chess match.
So now, Ryan, remind people what's going to happen if this game goes to time in the middle of someone's turn and the second game has not been decided yet.
So, if we are in turns and the game ends, or at the end of turns, it ends in a 1-1, we will go to a sudden death round of 6 rounds, each player getting 3 turns each, with life totals winning at the end. If at the end of those 6 turns they are still both at the same life, then it literally just continues until the next person deals damage.
Okay.
He just turned off.
But
Black
Ben
Widow.
just spent Typhoid Mary to field 2 of his characters, fields the sidekick for free. I as another Drax with Becky Global.
Interesting.
He's not purchased Becky yet, right?
Still
No.
has not purchased
No.
Becky. All three are sitting there waiting.
Right.
He wants to go to the dance, man. Come on, Ben. Pick her up.
Troy's got a bag full of dice now.
That
Does
time.
Ben oh, there's
That's the
okay.
timer.
It's timer. So this
So
is Troy's
Troy's
turn.
Turn 0.
Troy's
The
turn
last
is
normal
0.
turn.
Oh, sure. Now it comes. Now he comes to play.
And was that the Ben's timer that we heard?
Yeah.
Dang it. Well, apparently the universe doesn't want me to do any more than this. Well, I'm gonna Drax.
Draxing and Drax.
That frees up his Black Widow.
Not really a whole
Wait, no,
lot
it just
there.
gets rid of Drax messing with him.
Yeah.
So I need to save Drax. That's not gonna do me any good. Nothing I buy is gonna come around again. So, your turn, I guess, or your priority, and I'll save him.
So this is turn 1.
So Ben's got to get in more than 4 damage. I think with this team he can do that.
Yeah, Ben. Well, more than 4 advantage. We should say, right? Because Troy could still do some damage.
Shield down.
So Ben can't Becky Global this turn. So we think he's going to just go for an Atlantis play and hope for meaningful stuff to happen next turn.
I don't even know.
All of the
Usually
top
nice.
8 went to turns if it went to the thing.
Pass priority.
Or wait, does it go to turn? Brian, it goes to turns if it's
I'll
overtime.
force her to attack.
Yeah.
So they're in turns right
Okay.
now.
Attacking,
Losing my mind.
So Istrid is 3 attack. That is potentially significant at this point.
no, I'm gonna attack with Danny as well.
I figured you would.
Attacking with Danny and Instrid.
George, if you conceded when you should have gone to turns, it's kind of on you. Sorry.
Drax.
Use 3/5.
Double.
You will what? Oh,
Skyclaw. Istrid is getting the KO.
So
Oh, wow.
He's gonna get KO'd,
Oh, no, doubling, not Skyclawing. Sorry.
and Danny's going through.
Yep.
Okay, for 2. All right.
What's that score now? 16, 18?
Troy has got to roll that Drax.
3, 4. Well, let's see what happens.
That's not.
He gets a Black
So
Widow.
right now, Black Widow is Drax, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
No, the Black Widow I don't believe is. It was the
She's-
Spider-Man and the Danny Moonstar.
Well, it's all free and clear because he's only got a sidekick on the board.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yep.
Okay.
It says sidekick has special abilities.
Nada.
Sidekick.
Doesn't even have a second defense from that one card.
Training?
And
Yeah,
no
superior training,
Yeah.
rigorous training.
rigorous training.
One of the harder promos to get your hands on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he got it.
That's Spider-Man.
And he got.
All right. So
And he filled everything.
field that. Actually, field
Sequence.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
first.
Mhm.
Uh,
Sequencing the fielding here matters because Black Widow only gives the buffs to the characters that are already out.
Yep.
And you've got one pushback if you want it. And how many turns left? This is turn 2. You have 2 more turns left.
Troy has one turn left after this one.
So does he go in with the Black Widow and the Spider-Man to get the big hit in right now?
I have no idea where the steel can is. It should be in the garage if anything. I don't know. Please don't.
Yeah, I think he just has to go for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no brain space for this question right now.
Troy is getting 20 questions from one of his kids right now.
I believe Ben is texting one of Troy's children to help distract him. Go ask your
He's just
dad a
like,
question.
hey, there's some lion bars in it for you if you distract dad.
So you've got an Istrid horn coming. And potentially other stuff.
We've already announced the fellowship for this, haven't we? For the
Yeah, the fellowship got announced at the end of Swiss.
And that went to True Mr. Six begrudgingly.
True Mr. Six won
So-
the prototype Nefarious broadcast.
Alright,
Hey.
first priority, I guess. I might as well do that.
I don't think Ben is gonna have Ben's not likely to have a crazy turn next turn. Right?
He might have a crazy turn after that, though.
Yeah, for sure. But like,
Does Troy hit him now or wait until after his next turn to where
Yeah,
it's Troy's last
exactly,
turn to
like,
do the hit?
I think it's probably worth attacking with the Widow either way, right? Because like the Widow is not gonna do work on the in between turn.
Right.
Alright, we'll attack with those two. Spin down your sidekick to bolt. So it's a 2 attack and a 5 attack.
True Mr. Six, it's the mod way to turn up, lose, win something.
Yeah, because didn't Andy do that at the Rollin for the North? Was it?
I think
Or-
they've done that where they haven't been the sponsor of the event and have won prizes every single time.
Is it different else? 'Cause it was just, if I'm ahead in the second game, I get the second and we go to 6 turn shootout.
Yep.
They're running up towards time on this one
That's the
turn.
way we did it in the previous game, so I'm assuming that's what when I played Elliot, I think.
Yes. If it ends in a 1-1 after the turns, it goes to a 6-round sudden death.
Tell them the time they have left too.
Nope.
They got about 3 minutes.
I win if I'm ahead on life.
No, that's only if it's a tie.
Nope, not in this tournament. Really, that's how I won with Elliot.
What else is playing?
That's how it was ruled. That's how it's in the thing. You know, life wins.
Yeah, life wins. There is no ties.
But no. But no, if it's one game.
We
for me
understand
and
what
one
you're
life,
saying, but that's not how the rules work.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This exact situation happened against Elliot. We asked what the rules were clarified, and if
Can I
you're
get
ahead
another
on life,
clarification from the judge?
what's that?
Can I get another clarification from the judge?
It's the same judge we asked in the quarterfinals.
And like, you can't win a game. Okay, is that like right?
Okay, so if after the end of the turns and Troy has higher life total, he would win the second match, so it would be 1-1, and then it would go to sudden death.
Even though I won the game.
It is different than last year, yes.
Okay. I did not realize that. Okay. And the second game terribly then.
Ben, yeah, him not buying a Becky kind of did him in.
You still win. Worst case, you can gripe about it. So you win either way.
Like, it only makes any sense if I win a game and you haven't won a game.
Well, I think it was nobody liked the way, or there was some disfavor of how it worked in the other.
Let them know they need to move the turn on
It was just
because they're past the time for the shot clock. Or,
So for people watching and not understanding why things aren't progressing, there was some rules confusion that they're getting sorted out.
Is pushed back, and you take 2.
It was for the exact reason to keep people from slow playing.
Yep.
Still a chance to beat. Still a fairly good chance to. You still got 2 turns left.
I will field those guys. I will Drax, Danny, and
Blank Spider-Man is, and Drax Danny is going to put Troy into a bad spot. What are the life totals like right now?
Currently, we have Ben at 15 and Troy at 18.
So what are we expecting? Ben? No, Ben's not going to hit removal out of his bag though. So this is a unfortunate spot for him.
What are their life totals? Because it's not reflecting on the thing.
I just heard that Ben was at 15 and Troy was at 18. And Danny is under Drax.
Actually, it looks like Ben is at 14.
Ben's at 14.
and
Okay.
Oof.
Troy is at
So
18.
Well, see, you got Danny just as well, and you have a potential to pull your Danny. So I guess I better Drax your Danny. Pay 1 to field Drax. Drax Danny. I should put that in advance too.
Do we know?
Nope, they understood. That's how it happened with Alex. So he goes away and pass to your final turn. Well, you can win the 6 rounds. So.
Yeah, this is we wanted to keep from slow play so people kept progressive play going, not so people just sat back. And granted, I think Ben's control was really good, and if he just threw in a Becky Lynch there, he would have won this quite easily going away.
So this is Ben's final turn now.
Yeah.
Then there was, no.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, I've stalled you out in the second game because I thought like that I just had to stall you out because I was winning 1-0. Like I wouldn't have played that way if this.
So you're saying you slow played? Is that what you're saying?
Fine when I can tell you.
I'm just giving you crap.
Like I haven't brought Becky on purpose to try and just stall you out rather than try and win because I was 1-0 up.
And that's the reason for the rule.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Well, I got to get going, but this is definitely a suspenseful place for us to leave it.
Yeah.
We'll get it sorted out.
Yeah, we do appreciate you spending the afternoon with us here. So
Hey,
for sure.
No problem. Well, you guys have a great night and good luck to both players.
yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks for everything, man. You have a good night.
Be safe. Bye.
Danny.
They're resetting.
Can't believe how ridiculously unfair it is. Okay. Well, did that. You've got nowhere near killing me, but apparently.
All right.
Ben concedes,
Get to decide
moving on to a
if you go first or second.
6-turn sudden death.
Shoot off games. 6 turns.
Yep.
Just gonna go by Danny then. It's whoever just rolls them.
Yeah, no, there's a
Okay,
little bit of that. Yeah.
No, like I'll say this: no one likes how any of the rules, how any of the in-turn stuff ends. Especially if if you think it's a certain way, but it's been stated this way forever.
We had 2 weeks of saying, hey, this is how it was going to be. It's like
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Like, yeah, they like do. They understand what's happening.
Yes.
Yes, Ben, we fully understand the state.
So even though I'm 1-0 up,
Mm-hmm.
No, he's 1-1 now.
It is, as we have stated it, that life wins at the end of turns. It is 1-1.
but life only wins at pick. I'll go first, I guess.
Okay.
Did you tell him that it was 6-turn sudden death?
Yes.
Praise. Yeah. Can you hold on?
There's a Danny. I'm sure that's a Danny. Yep.
All right. Oops. Yep. Prep Danny, like you said.
Okay.
Down to 4. Technically, this would be 4 because there's 6 turns. You get 2 turns.
Yeah, they're just gonna keep swinging through with everything they possibly can. I think Ben's just got to swing through with his.
I didn't know you had a 0 on your die.
Yes, that is. Well, I mean, we've stated that life wins at the end of a game.
Yep.
Monkey, this is less of our fault than it is
No,
somebody's fault for not paying attention to the rules.
people have complained about all the rules for the ending time at all the tournaments. So.
Yep.
Well, but life wins a game at time. So Troy won a game. So it's perfectly fine. It's over with. We're moving on to the next. This is the next one. So.
All right. So 1 goes through.
So who did 1 damage? Troy has 1 damage on him.
Yep.
That's.
So you probably win.
We've stated before that the time limit was for everybody involved in both hemispheres.
Yep.
So it really we had to make a sacrifice. I'll be honest,
Spin it out, so I guess I could.
for the player's sanity as well as the viewer's sanity.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, bud.
That was an answer to
Spin it down.
Monkey's comment. It is ridiculous to have a time limit, but we wanted to take into consideration all the participants' time in this, especially Ben's time or Peter's time. That's why we have timed top 8.
Mm-hmm.
So really, it's for everybody's sanity.
Well,
both
and
the
I mean,
viewers
that's
and the
officially part of the
participants.
Wizkids rules on the tournaments as well.
So yeah, we're beyond that now.
Counting up or down?
Yeah.
Are we counting up or down?
He said 1.
Okay.
With your second ever one.
Their dice are confusing me. They had them on different things.
6 'cause
Yeah.
They're getting it worked out.
Yeah.
So, and we're sorry if this is very frustrating,
Alright, I will.
but we did have to have the rules set like this, and we're trying to just make it as even as possible because slow play does happen a lot in matches. I'm not saying Ben was slow playing, but this is to avoid slow play in a game.
Yeah.
What's going on right now?
Troy's trying to figure out what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
His
Troy.
energy.
Alright, your turn.
Troy's resigning to his fate.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ben's gonna be able to just clear everything off.
He should get an Istrid.
With his turn 5.
Sure.
Makes sense to you?
Troy's got one turn.
The penultimate turn. You got lots of masks then, don't you?
Yeah, he's got lots of masks.
Well, then I will go ahead and headline this, because why not? I'll save it. Well, actually, no, I won't save it.
And we know this is not the most exciting either.
You
But...
gotta save it. You gotta save it.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah. Sorry, I was really thinking.
Whose turn is it?
I don't know.
So Ben swung with that first sidekick, correct?
Yeah, so Troy's at 19 life to Ben's 20.
Okay, so that's what they're commenting on about how there's nothing Troy can do because Ben
Ben
saved
saved
up
all of his
masks.
masks for static field. There's no way Troy
There's no way
field
Troy can
enough
get around it.
characters to get through to do damage.
Yeah, I mean, I think that DM Armada brings up a good point. Troy could have really put it away if he just had an ice cream that it was eating. So that's a good call.
Right. Good game.
Ben wins the 2020 Online Worlds Championship. Oh.
That's going to wrap things up for us here in the CR Game Room. Check out our website, crgr.rocks, for all our latest info. There you'll find a link to help support us via Patreon. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Join our conversations on Discord. Be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for hanging out.